Hey drummers, I'm Jim Linsner along with Danusha Beats here at Upper Story Studios in Niagara Falls, New York. Today we're going to check out the bridge groove to the song Welcome to Paradise by Green Day. This is a great introduction to tom-tom grooves, and Tré Cool plays this one thing at the climax of the bridge that's just going to knock you out. So let's take a listen. Okay, so at the beginning, I'm sure you heard some tom-toms and some snare on 2 and 4, but then all of a sudden, did you hear the bell of the cymbal coming in and out? The first time I listened to that, I was like, that's got to be an overdub. That can't possibly be one person playing drums. But then I watched a live clip, and it certainly is just Tré Cool, and what he's doing is he's playing that tom-tom beat, but moving between the bell, the ride cymbal, and the floor tom. That's a little tricky. We'll get into that in a minute, but first let's just break down the first tom-tom beat. First step, we're just going to play a straight up 8th note rock groove, bass on 1 and 3, snare on 2 and 4, but the right hand's going to play on the floor tom instead of the hi-hat. Sounds like this. Next step, we're going to bring the left hand over to the floor tom on the of beat 2 and the of beat 4. Okay, so these notes are going to come in between the right hand notes. I'll count it and play it kind of slow here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Check it out. Okay, now to complete the Welcome to Paradise beat, you got to add 2 more bass drum notes. So now it's going to go boom, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Same hand pattern, 8th notes on the floor tom with the right hand, left hand coming over on the of 2 and the of 4. Okay, so now the really interesting part. What Tré Cool does is he takes those 8th notes with his right hand, and instead of playing them just on the floor tom, he plays bell, floor, 1 and 2 and so on. Okay, so let me just give you a taste of that right now. Okay, that's really tricky to do, and you may not be able to do that right from the get-go. So let's break it down a little bit. Let's take the beat we were playing, and let's put just the first note on the cymbal. And for now, let's not worry about going to the bell. Just hit a cymbal that's close to your floor tom. It could be a crash cymbal, or it could be the ride cymbal. Whatever cymbal's close. The idea is just getting used to moving one note to the cymbal. Okay, so that's pretty doable, right? Now let's move another note to the cymbal. So we're going to move on 1 and we're going to move on 3. Okay, and it's pretty cool because you're always doing the 2 tom-tom notes right before the cymbal. Check it out. Okay, so now let's try moving to the cymbal on the 2 and 4. So you're going to, once again, still be playing the same hand pattern, but every time you hit the snare, you're also going to hit the cymbal. Here's what that sounds like. Okay, and finally, we're going to play all 4 downbeats on the ride cymbal, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... This still might be pretty tricky. Take it very slowly. and perhaps simplify the bass drum, or you can even play the very first beat we talked about, just the eighth notes with the right hand and the snare on 2 and 4. Just leave off the left hand notes at first, maybe if it's really hard. But here's what the full beat sounds like, slowly at first, and then I'll speed it up. Okay, so that's the bridge groove to Welcome to Paradise by Green Day. Really cool. And it's challenging to get this happening at first, you know, the movement back and forth, but after a while it becomes, you know, second nature. And 2 other takeaways for you. 1, that was just one bass drum pattern. You could play like 200 different bass drum patterns with that hand pattern, and it all can still work and sound really interesting. The other thing is, you know, we built up to the quarter note move by just moving on the 1 and then just moving on the 1 and 3 and just on the 2 and 4. And although that was kind of a technical exercise, any one of those is musically valid. Like if you're, you know, playing, you know, that song in a cover band, you're going to play it pretty much like Trey Cool did. But if you're applying this concept to your own original music, and you feel like playing a tom-tom beat that just has crashes on 2 and 4, that's great. That's a really cool sound. So feel free to do that and feel free to experiment. That's what it's all about. I'm Jim Linsner. Thanks a lot for watching. Tune in next time. We're going to have another tom-tom groove that's a little more involved. See you then.